Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. If you're joining us live today on the show, please do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and I want you to tag doggone lolly dolly everybody and let them know your boy Ramon Preston, my squad, we are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are rejoicing and we are glad in it. Again, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag lolly dolly everybody and let them know that your boy and my squad, we are live. And we're going to be talking about creative real estate investing. Today's show is going to be all about creative real estate investing, how you should be looking to purchase real estate with no credit, no credentials, how you can take properties, live in them, buy them, rent them, flip them, whatever you want to do with them from a creative perspective. All right, now behind me, I have two numbers, okay? I have two numbers here that you can at any time text the word invest to, because I would love for you to be one of my special guests tomorrow. Saturday, what's tomorrow? The 23rd, Saturday, March the 23rd, we're going to be hosting a live creative real estate investing workshop. It's going to be here in person, but also virtual. So you'll be able to stream in virtually. And listen, I'm going to be taking 4 hours to do a deep dive into strategies that you can use to purchase real estate with no credit or no credentials. A lot of times when people hear that, they think it's a scam, they think it's shade, they think something unethical or illegal is happening. But the truth is, people do it every day. It's just that when you don't have the knowledge, you don't know how to implement and execute at the highest level when it comes to real estate investing, okay? So again, please hit the like button, hit the share button, tag somebody, let them know that your boy is live. We are live. Today is Friday, March the 22nd, 2024. We are here in the Buckhead community of Atlanta. My team, my squad is here live, ready for you to text the word invest if you would like to join me tomorrow for my creative real estate investing workshop. So for those of you that are new to my channel, for those of you that are new to the Ramon Preston Show, I want to say welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. We come here live on the Ramon Preston Show for a specific reason, and that reason is to educate you, to inspire you, to inform you on how you can properly start, structure, and scale your businesses, maybe your ministries, your income streams, and for all of my real estate investors, your wealth building dreams. Now, just to kind of give you a backdrop to why this conversation I'm having today on creative real estate investing is so important, is because our real estate investment company is a subsidiary of our holding company. If you followed me for any time now, you know what I teach about holding companies is like the top of my priority list, because if you're going to build a legacy, if you're going to expand your organizational enterprise, you need to have your business entities structured the correct way. And so I teach a lot about the importance of having a holding company, a parent company. Once you have your holding company and your parent company set up and structured correctly, it's easy for you to start a subsidiary, which could be an operating entity, whether it's a business with products and services that you sell and provide in the marketplace, or whether it is a real estate investment company like our real estate investment company called RP Capital / RP Capital Home Solutions. And so if you are looking to not just make money, not just grind and hustle and scrap as an entrepreneur every day, but if you're looking to build wealth and have a sustainable legacy for you and for your children and your children's children, at some point, you're going to have to get into investing. My hope is that you would consider real estate investing. And if in fact real estate investing is on your radar, you've got the option to do a few things, okay? Which, by the way, if you have any questions, you could put the questions in the comments or in the live chat. If we don't answer them during the show, we'll definitely circle back around and answer any of the questions that you have. But I would love to get feedback from you if you have any questions, and I would love to help you along the way. Okay, so back to what I was just saying. If you're interested in real estate investing, if you believe that real estate investing has a place in the longevity of your business activities, then you want to consider creative real estate investing. All right. So in the world of real estate investing, there are two trains of thought, right? Okay, there are two trains of thought. Let me get my educators pen out. Let me see here. Let me get a clear board. I'll get back to that board. So in the world of real estate investing, there are two trains of thought. Okay, so you have the conventional way of doing real estate. You have the conventional way. This may also be referred to as the traditional way. All right? And then you have the creative. This would be the non-traditional. So it doesn't mean, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, that you automatically have to default to creative real estate. All right? The non-traditional way of doing it. You can default to the conventional way, the traditional way. So what is the biggest difference? Well, the biggest difference between conventional real estate investing and creative real estate investing is how you need and how you use cash, how you need and how you use credit, how you need and how you use credentials, and how you need and use other resources. So for example, if I'm investing in real estate conventionally, I'm definitely going to need cash. Why? Because the bank that gives me a loan is most likely going to require down payment. I have a lender on our team, and our lender tells us regularly that you would probably have to put down anywhere between 20 to 25% of the purchase price of that investment property as a real estate investor. Now, all of you that are doing house hacking and you're buying a duplex and you're going to live in one side, you might be able to get FHA at 3.5% or maybe a conventional loan at 5 to 10%. We're not talking about those exceptions to the rule. We're just talking about straight up real estate investors who are out there looking at purchasing real estate. If you're doing it the conventional way, as far as cash is concerned, it may take 20 to 25%. I know without a shadow of a doubt because I do it, and I know a lot of creative real estate investors that do it. You can definitely purchase a property creatively for way less than 20 to 25% down, period. Okay? So remember what I said. One of the biggest differences between conventional real estate investing and creative real estate investing is how cash is needed and used, how credit is needed and used, how credentials are needed and used, and how other resources are needed and used. This is the biggest difference between the two, all right? And I'm going to break it down so that you can understand it. So as far as cash, it may take 20 to 25% down. It literally may take 20 to 25% down. And that's just the down payment if you're investing in real estate conventionally. If you're investing in real estate creatively, it could be anywhere between, and I'll say this conservatively, 0%, maybe 15 up to 15% down. I mean, we're talking about easily 0 to 15%. Now, when I say 0%, you start thinking of some of the infomercials. Y'all remember the infomercials? Some of the infomercials, they used to always talk about you could buy a house with no money down. Well, it's true. You can buy a house with no money down, with no cash down. Remember, we're talking about the cash part. because these are the things that differentiate conventional or traditional real estate investing from creative, non-traditional real estate investing. You're definitely going to have at least a 20 to 25% down payment if you invest conventionally. A lender is going to definitely require that, okay? And we're talking about a conventional lender. A hard money lender may require more, depending on the risk involved in that property and certain points you got to pay up front. Creatively, you can easily get into a property with 0 to 15% cash down of that purchase price. So let me just address the 0% down, because when you hear no money down, you're like, how can you buy a house with no money down? It's easy. Depending on the circumstances of the seller, depending on the problems that you solve for the seller, that will determine. I know it is possible for you to buy a house and at closing, you can walk away with money. Or if you're doing a double closing, you can do a double close and walk away with money. It's doable. It's just a matter of the information that you know. It's all about the strategies that you implement. People who question this kind of stuff are people who ain't never invested in a piece of real estate. They ain't got no receipts. They don't even have a clue what a settlement statement or a deed is. They know nothing about real estate investing. They just running their mouth, talking and capping, and hopefully they're not doing it on the internet. But again, that's one of the biggest differences between conventional and creative. So my question to you is, if you're thinking about getting into real estate investing and you had to make a decision between conventional real estate, creative real estate, just from a cash perspective, which one sounds more enticing to you? That's the question. Which one sounds more enticing to you? I mean, just looking at the numbers, I would rather put 0 to 15% down as opposed to 20 to 25% down. Okay? So this is one of the biggest differences between conventional and creative. Another big difference is how credit is needed and used. And I'm using those two words, needed and used, because sometimes cash is not needed. And sometimes if it's not needed, it may still be used. And it just depends on how you structure the deal. So another big difference between the two is how credit is needed and used. So if you're investing in real estate conventionally, do you need credit? Of course you need credit. You need a credit score. Some lenders may require you as an investor to have at least a 640 to 660 credit score to be the personal guarantor for that, or even for your entity to back and to guarantee that loan so that you can have an interest rate that's good enough. Because there are a lot of things that's going to factor into you getting a loan as a real estate investor from a bank, no matter what type of loan it is, okay? There are a lot of things that's going to factor in. So yes, for the conventional loan, yes, you have to have credit. You have to have a credit score. Your credit worthiness. Maybe you don't need a high credit score. Some lenders may do it with a low credit score. And we're not talking about you being a consumer, getting an FHA loan, 3.5% down, or a VA loan with 100% financing with a 580 or 600 credit score. That's for the consumer. That's for the homestead buyer. We're talking about real estate investing, okay? So don't listen to this and take bites out of what I'm saying and be like, yeah, he lying, he don't know what he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm a real estate investor. I actively invest in real estate. My wife is a real estate agent. We have a lender who is a mortgage broker that's a part of our team. I know the data behind these topics that I'm talking about, okay? So again, with creative real estate investing, do you need credit? No. Why? Because who's checking your credit? You can invest in real estate creatively, whether it's through a owner finance deal or a subject to deal. Who's checking your credit? Nobody even asking you about your credit. Any creative real estate transaction that I participated in, nobody has ever asked me, what's your credit score, bro? like, tell me your credit score. I need to know your credit score. No, ain't nobody asking me that question, okay? So that's one of the biggest differentiators. Another one is the credentials. Now, when I say credentials, what am I referring to? What am I referring to? I'm referring to W-2s, tax returns, 1099s, bank statements. You need that for a conventional real estate investment transaction. You got to show something. you're going to have to show something. A bank going to require you to show something. Now, I know there's some no-doc loans and there's some nuances to that. But when you start getting into those no-doc nuances, you really start leaning over here on the creative side. So if a conventional lender is offering certain nuanced strategies creatively, they're leaning into the creative space. It may not be all 100% creative, but they're tapping into it. They're leaning into it. With a creative real estate deal, guess what? You don't need no credentials. Nobody cares about your W-2, your 1099, your EIN number, other than the attorney may need some of that information if they want to just validate and verify, or a title company or something. But for the most part, you don't need credentials, tax returns. Nobody cares about it, all right? And then we're talking about other resources. What are some other resources am I referring to? Other resources could be private money lenders. Some banks will not allow a private money lender to have a second lien position on a investment property. Some banks won't allow it. Some banks won't allow you to bring in someone else who's got money and the money ain't in your primary bank account or the account of the entity that you're representing. Some lenders won't allow it. Well, creatively, you could bring 5 private money lenders in if you want to. You can have 5 people having 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lien holder positions. It really doesn't matter. It just depends on if the deal is structured and if it makes sense to you. So I wanted to at least lay this foundation to establish this, that there is a fundamental difference between conventional or traditional real estate investing and creative or non-traditional real estate investing. And again, real estate investing is essentially the same when it comes to someone identifying with a property and contracting that property and preparing to do due diligence to go to closing so that they can acquire the property. But what differentiates these types of real estate investors is how you're actually structuring that deal with things like cash, credit, credentials, and other resources, and if they are needed and or used in that particular transaction. So I would love to get some feedback from you. If you're watching the show live, if you are at least interested enough to wrap your mind around what I'm saying, if you were in real estate investing and you had to choose between the two, which one sounds like or seems like you will be leaning towards? I want you to put that in the comments. I know we're streaming live on TikTok as well. I want to say thank you to all our TikTok family members. I believe we're approaching 10,000 followers on TikTok. I don't see people as followers, no matter if it's 10 people or 10,000 or 10 million. I see them as family because it must be something I'm saying or distributing and disseminating that resonates with people. And for a lot of people that follow us, they recognize that, wow, this is a preacher and an entrepreneur who's talking about both aspects of life, spiritual life, economic life, who ties them together to show people that you can love God, you can serve God, you can still be a blessing to people and make a whole lot of money in the process. So when it comes to the difference between the conventional and the creative real estate investor, which one do you feel like fits who you are the most? I would love to know that in the comments. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, tomorrow, Saturday, March the 23rd, from 12 p.m. noon to 4 p.m. It's going to be a 4-hour deep dive, Eastern Standard Time, right here. We're going to be in person in our training room outside of this studio, and we're going to be streaming virtual. And I have probably about a 37-page workbook that you'll get. So if you come in person, you'll get this workbook. And if you come virtually, you'll have a digital copy of the workbook. You'll have a secure link, a private link that you can click so that you could join us. And this is going to be a deep dive. Like, I'm going to take 4 hours to show you how you can literally start investing in real estate creatively, okay? Creatively. This is all creative. We're going to be talking about strategies that you can implement and use. I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of information, okay? So again, if you would like to join me, Virtually, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we are offering the virtual access to this workshop for $47. So you pay $47. There's no way you're not going to get $47 worth of information. Like, if you just read this 37-page workbook, it'll be worth probably $470. Okay? In person is going to be, I believe it's $97 because we are going to provide lunch. But whether it's $47 or $97, you get 4 hours of information, training, practical, interactive exercises during that 4 hours. And I'm gonna be dumping. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be dumping information on you. Okay. So if you're interested, just text the word invest to one of these numbers. These numbers are active numbers. Somebody on my team will reach back out to you, and we could get you signed up, RSVP'd, and onboarded as a VIP attendee today. Don't wait until tomorrow at 11:30 you start reaching out, which will still bring you in. But all you have to do is text invest to one of these numbers, 678-276-8253, 678-276-8556. Again, 678-276-8253 or 678-276-8556. So if you have any questions, please drop your questions in the comments. And if you have maybe some feedback that you want to share with the community, feel free to put your feedback in the comments or in the chat as well. So again, tomorrow during our creative real estate investing workshop, there are 4 main areas that we're going to be discussing. So number 1, we'll have a session on creative real estate investing in general. So we'll be talking about what creative real estate investing is, how it works. We're going to be talking about, certain activities that creative real estate investing includes, like financial activities and transactional activities. Let me give you an example. One of the financial activities is your retirement account. If you have a 401k or 403b, if you have a retirement account, there are companies that are set up as custodians who can create self-directed IRAs. They can create accounts that give you the ability to invest in real estate deals so that you can continue to accelerate and increase the amount of money you have in your retirement account without ever using money that you have in the bank just sitting or cash, okay? That's a very creative financial activity, okay? Another creative financial activity is private money lending. So you can be a private money lender on a creative real estate deal, or you can find a private money lender. So this is different from a hard money lender. Most of the new real estate investors that I talk to, the newbies, they hear things being said on the internet, and a lot of times they'll say, man, I need to find a hard money lender. Not necessarily. I mean, I'm not knocking hard money lenders because I know hard money lenders, and so that's their business. And their business plays a very important role depending on the volatility or the heat or meat that's on a deal. They play a very important role. However, if you know people who trust you, who know that you know what you're doing when it comes to being a real estate investor, you can creatively provide opportunities for them to be private money lenders, to bring their money into a deal, and you can secure the money that they loan you as a private money lender by the piece of real estate that you are acquiring, okay? So you can draft promissory notes, deeds of trust, and have them recorded against that property that secures their money, okay? So you won't be able to sell that property without them being paid at closing. So that's a very important financial activity. There are also transactional activities that fall under the umbrella of creative real estate investing. Let me give you a couple examples. Number one, a lease option. A lease option is a transactional activity, right? Because you don't necessarily need credit, credentials. You really don't even need a whole lot of money to find someone who's willing to allow you to lease their home with an option to buy it, and you can use that lease as a master lease with the ability to sublease to someone that you find on the disposition end who wants to lease from you. So we call them sandwich leases. So I lease this property from person A, I'm person B with the lease and the option. I lease this property to person C, and I stand in the middle and I get a bit of money between what I pay the leaseor and what the leasee pays me. If you're confused, it's only because I'm talking fast. but guess what? That's a viable option. That's an activity. Of course, owner financing and subject to, those are going to be two main ways you participate in creative real estate. And if you learn owner financing, especially if you learn subject to, like, it's just going to change your life forever. So again, a lot of people are talking about this stuff on social media. All you got to do is go to Google or go to YouTube, and all you have to do is just type in owner financing, creative financing, subject to, or whatever. There are going to be tens of thousands of videos that come up. And I always say, I never claim to be the next best thing since sliced bread. But what I do know is there are people who listen to certain individuals and they align with them. They connect with them. Something resonates with them. And it could be the same information 100 other people are given, but it's just something about that person. It doesn't mean that person knows more than the other 99 people. It just means that you aligned and resonated with that person, and you feel more comfortable going with that person, learning from them, connecting and collaborating with them. You just have to make that choice, all right? So we're going to be talking about that. That's one of the main sessions that we're going to have, which is on creative real estate investing, okay? Let me share a little bit more information with you just to show you all the stuff that we're going to be talking about. We're also going to be talking about, man, I got so much information I'm going to be sharing. We're going to be talking about the most important terms and concepts. The most important terms and concepts. So what do I mean by that? There are certain terms and concepts that you just have to know if you're going to be good as a real estate investor, okay? So I'm going to be sharing the 12 most important. So there are about 12 terms and concepts that I'm going to be talking about that if you can learn those 12 and familiarize yourself with them and use them when you're underwriting and analyzing properties and when you are comping deals, you're gonna be a beast, all right? So we'll be talking about CMAs, ARVs. A CMA is a comparative market analysis. ARV is after repair value. We'll be talking about gross rent, operating expenses, net operating income, debt service coverage ratio, cash flow, return on investment, cash on cash returns. And we're also going to be talking about cost of acquisition and cost of disposition. If you just learn those 12 and you approach any property, you can pull a property up on Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com or Trulia, and you take those 12 terms and concepts that I just mentioned, it will become so easy for you to underwrite a deal because you can determine what the value of that property is, what you can buy it for, what the cost of acquisition are, what type of return you will get in your exit if you sold it in a flip, if you rented it. It just makes life easy. So we'll be talking about those 12 tomorrow, and I'm going to be using case studies. So I don't use hypothetical examples. I know some teachers do. I don't use hypothetical examples, meaning that I'm not going to just be throwing a random price out there like, oh, what if you bought this house for $200,000, and if you bought it for $200,000 and you only paid $4,000 and blah blah. It's all hypothetical. It means nothing in the real world. So when I use examples, I'm using case studies, meaning that I'm using properties that I know we have HUD statements and receipts for to show you that this is a real deal. This is how it was underwritten. Okay, as a matter of fact, I have case studies and this type of information in my mentorship program, in the courses that we offer our mentees. So we have a mentorship program where we teach creative real estate investing. We teach the fundamentals of real estate investing. We teach everything, business structures, systems, processes. The list goes on and on. We're also going to be talking about the power of subject to. So again, that's, for me, that's definitely my favorite creative strategy. And I think if you're going to be a real estate investor, even if you don't use it, if you choose to go the conventional way, you definitely want to learn. You definitely want to learn the creative way, okay? And subject to is something you definitely want to learn, all right? We'll be talking about the benefits of subject to. We'll talk about some of the drawbacks of subject to. I'm going to be sharing with you information on who needs to be involved in a subject to transaction. Who are the people that you need? Sometimes what happens is, and I always say this to people when I'm talking about real estate, what happens sometimes is real estate investors who get into the teaching side of it, they muddy the water with words and terms and concepts and phrases and language that is so complicated and convoluted, you never jump in the water. Imagine there's a 3-foot pool in front of you, and there's beautiful spring water in the pool, and there's $1 million sitting at the bottom of the pool, and you walk to the edge of the pool. It's 3 feet, and you see the money, and somebody says, jump in and get the money. What you gonna do? Shh, you ain't gotta swim. It don't matter if you know how to swim or not. You jumping in the doggone pool. Why? Because you ain't thinking about no 3 feet. All you thinking about is that milli baby at the bottom of those 3 feet. And you can see it. So what a lot of real estate investors do, unfortunately, especially those who are not real estate investors, they may just be on the sideline and they want to teach courses. They throw mud in the pool. Now you get to the edge of the pool. You know it's $1 million down there, but you like, I can't see the bottom. I don't know what's in it. Now you're apprehensive about jumping in a 3-foot pool. I try to simplify that because I know, yes, there are things that are complicated, but a lot of times people teach you how to do something when a lot of the things that they're teaching you, these are things you might not even have to do. There's certain paperwork they may say you need. You don't necessarily need it. Your attorney has it. You don't need it. The title company has it. You don't need it. The transaction coordinator has it. The real estate agent has it. The lender has it. Like, you don't necessarily need that. So if you start thinking, oh, I need all this and I need all, no, you don't. You don't need all this and all that to get started. As you grow and develop, you get to a point to where you need less from other people, but you still use them. That's a real legitimate business owner. And that's why I like to wrap real business ownership around real estate investing. Because I've met so many real estate investors who they don't know nothing about holding companies, subsidiaries, tax strategies. They know nothing about systems and processes. All they know about is, oh, I'm a comp a property. I'm underwriting a deal. Okay, you need more than just the ability to underwrite a deal. You need to know how to save on taxes. You need to know how to run your operational systems and processes. You need to know how to expand and to build a real enterprise. You got to, but that's for another time. I'm gonna get off, as one man says, let me get off my soapbox because I can go through rant. So we're gonna be talking about the documents that you should have for a subject to deal. There are certain documents you should have. So again, there's only a few documents you need at the front end of your creative real estate deals. All right. The rest of the documents your attorney's gonna have. And let me be honest with you. All the documents that I use, maybe except for a couple of them, my attorney gave me. And I have a relationship. I spend money with them. So it's like, of course you're going to help me because I'm bringing money to you all the time. There are some documents I had to get on my own, but I could have gotten them from my attorney. I brought them to him. I just happened to have them and he tweaked them, but I could have gotten them from him. So I might have saved a couple $100 having them, but for the most part, you don't need them. But we're going to be talking about the ones that you should have, no matter who gives them to you, okay? We're also going to be talking about the best ways to use subject to. Like, where do you generate leads from? Where is it best for you to use creative real estate in? We're going to be talking about those areas, and we're going to be talking about what subject to investing in foreclosures require. That's a big hot topic that I think we need more people in. I love creative real estate investing, and I love working with people who are in pre-foreclosure, not because I love the situation that they're in, but because I love the joy that I get from helping people, the impact that I make. And I know it's a part of being a preacher and a minister and a Christian, but just human nature. You want to help people. You don't want to see people in distress. So I love the fact that pre-foreclosures is a very sensitive area of distress that you can really make a big impact in. And of course you make money, but you help a lot of people in the process. And then tomorrow we're going to end our workshop talking about my 10 steps to a subject to deal. Like, I'm giving you 10 simple steps. If you just follow those 10 steps, you're definitely going to get your first deal within 90 days. When I say that to people, they like, what? Ain't no way in this world I can get a deal in 90 days. Well, if you don't believe it, that's your problem. I believe it. I know it's possible. I know it's possible. I know it is possible for you to do it. So we'll be talking about my 10 steps to a subject to deal, and I'm going to break each step down. I have, again, case studies on each step to show you, here's a property our company bought. Here is the 10 steps of the process that we went through. Here are all the things that we did. Here's the paperwork. Here are the receipts. So you just can't deny this stuff. Either you're doing it or you ain't. As simple as that. So again, if you're interested in joining me tomorrow for 4 hours, if for some reason you can't make it and you sign up to join me in person or virtual, we'll make sure you get access to the replay, okay? We'll make sure you get access to the replay. And guess what? Beyond the replay, we have workshops regularly. We have meetups regularly. We have a mentorship program where we have weekly coaching calls. We don't just talk about real estate on those calls. We talk about all aspects of building $1 million enterprises, because I want to help people become millionaires. I want to help people become very successful in their business and investment endeavors. But if you're interested and you're willing to invest $47 into yourself to take 4 hours to learn some of the most sophisticated and powerful concepts ever, all you have to do is text the word invest. Text the word invest to one of these numbers. When you text the word invest, one of my squad members, they will reach back out to you. It's going to be simple as that. They're going to ask you a couple questions. Of course, congratulate you for reaching out. And if the workshop tomorrow meets your criteria and they answer your questions, we can get you signed up over the phone. They can email you a secure invoice, however you want to do it. Or you could just go online to our website, RamonPreston.com/event. That's RamonPreston.com/event. RamonPreston.com/event. You could just go there, even without us, and you could click on RSVP. You could pay the $47 or the $97 and secure your spot. Get your VIP ticket immediately online, and we'll see you tomorrow. You'll be able to ask as many questions as you want to ask. You'll have an opportunity to interact with people who are in real estate investing, who are in the process of getting in it, and you'll have a chance to really see that there's a great opportunity available for you, especially with where we are right now. So I would love to get some feedback from all of you on today's show. And some of the feedback that I want, most importantly, is the feedback on what did you learn? If you had to take like one big lesson you learned today, what was the one big lesson you learned today from the show? I want you to put that in the comments. let me know. And also let me know where you're watching the show from. Like, what city and state are you watching the show from? We're looking at moving around the country a little more this year. We have students and mentees and community members that are in many states outside of Metro Atlanta where we are. And we're looking to come to some of these areas to help our community members and mentees and even some students. We even have some licensees in certain areas. We're looking at helping them build and expand what they're doing. And we would love to have an opportunity to connect with you as well. All right. And we do have a free community. If you would like to be a part of that community, just ask our squad members when you reach out to us and they reach back out to you, ask them about our free community and how you can sign up and be a part of it. So I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining the show today. Again, tomorrow, Saturday, March 23rd, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, we are hosting our creative real estate investing workshop. And it's going to be a 4-hour training, intensive deep dive that's going to really change the trajectory of your mind, and it could change the trajectory of your life and your money, baby, if you take the information and execute it. So we love you, we appreciate you, and I'm not gonna say we'll see you tomorrow, because I don't know if we will even stream any of our sessions live tomorrow. We will be streaming them for our private group, our VIPs who have RSVP'd, but maybe we'll throw a couple clips up to keep your curiosity going. So thank you all for joining the show today. We'll see you on the next show. All right, have an amazing day. TikTok, what's up, fam?